Welcome to I Am One, where I am one with the Creator and one with myself. We continue our journey of 28 days of the African Tarot, and our theme for today is going to be the four winds. We're going to have the South, the West, the North, and the East. The South is going to be represented by the King of Discs. The West is going to be represented by the Seven of Discs. The North is going to be represented by Justice. And the East is going to be represented by the Ten of Cups. So with each of these directions, we're going to have a subtopic. So for the South Wind with the King of Discs, this is going to talk about letting go. So in looking at this card, decide what you need to let go of. Decide if there's excess that you need to bring back into alignment. Decide if there's not enough, but you're not opening yourself up to receive more. Decide what you need to let go of. Maybe that for you is fear. Maybe that for you is your cynicism. Maybe that for you is your overly cautious attitude about receiving something new, or about going in a different direction, or about just letting go, just cutting the cord. What is it that you need to let go of? Only you know the answer to that, but you need to answer that. And the King of Discs is here to help you evaluate that. Here we see the King sitting comfortably with the disc in his hands. And I want you to notice, when you look at the King's feet, and you notice that there is a piece of grass or a piece of a sheaf, but there's something on the ground, and he has put his foot, He's put his foot down. That's the key. He has put his foot down. What do you need to put your foot down about? Especially as we look at the aspect of letting go. What do you need to put your foot down about? What do you need to say, this has gone on long enough and it's not going to go on anymore. I've put up with this long enough. I'm not putting up with it anymore. I've accepted this long enough. I'm not going to accept it anymore. What do you need to put your foot down about? That's the aspect of letting go that we need to focus on. Whatever it is, it's time to make that decision. It's time to not only make the decision, but it's time to put it into action. It's gone on too long. You've gone too far. You've put up with. You've tolerated. You've accepted. It is time to say no more and put your foot down. So then the west wind will bring you to the point of either confronting or accepting. So once you put your foot down, whoever it is you need to confront, or whatever it is that you need to confront, that needs to happen. Whatever it is you need to accept, or whoever it is you need to accept, that needs to happen. So we're going to put our foot down. And then we're going to either have a confrontation, and that doesn't necessarily mean a shouting match. Sometimes it ends up that way because the emotions get into the picture and come into play. But really, confrontation really shouldn't end up being a shouting match. Confrontation should help both sides or all parties involved to get a better understanding, to walk away with clarity, to walk away with the idea and the notion that I played a part in this. Here's the part I played. If that was a good part, pat yourself on the back. If it was not so good of a part, then it's time to make some adjustments. But in order to move forward after putting your foot down, you've got to have the confrontation. / acceptance, which means at some point you're going to have to admit. And we know the saying, you can't truly deal with or work on a problem until you can admit you have a problem. You can't deal with the volatile relationship until you admit this is a volatile relationship. You can't deal with your weight issues, and I don't want to put anybody down about their weight issues, but you can't deal with your weight issues until you deal with the fact that you have a weight issue. And the weight isn't really the issue, it's the underlying reason why the weight becomes an issue. And it's not always about how much you're eating. For some, it's about you're not eating enough. And it's not about how much or not enough. It's about what it is that you're consuming. Is that the best choice for you? For you. And I'm not talking about never eat a piece of meat. I'm not talking about only eat fruits and vegetables. Hear what I'm saying. I'm saying is sometimes you need a mixture of both, but you need the healthiest choice of whatever it's going to be. The healthiest choice that works for your body. I didn't mean to go there, but I know that this is an issue. And if this is your issue, you need to come clean with it. Somebody may be in a volatile relationship, and it's more convenient just to stay there than it is to admit the relationship is toxic, the relationship is unhealthy, not just for you mentally, not just for you physically. It not necessarily meaning they're putting their hands on you, but I mean physically, where you are at the point of getting ulcers because you're internalizing everything, and you're grinning and you're bearing it. And once you're out of the house, you're free. But when work is over, when the project is over, when school is over, and you have to walk back across that threshold, the pain begins to come. And it's not just domestically. It could be in your job. You love what you do, but you hate where you have to go to do it. But that's the only option you have at this moment. So you think. And so you put up with that and you tolerate that and you close your mouth and you close the door, or you put your head down and you just bury yourself in your work and you just let everything else go around you and you just try to get in and get out without any scars, without any bumps or bruises. But it is time to put your foot down, and it is time to confront what is going on and how this needs to change. And maybe you have to confront yourself that you're no longer going to put yourself in this situation. You're no longer going to put yourself in this environment. You're no longer going to put yourself in harm's way. So the north wind comes, and that's the card of justice. And justice helps you go into the unknown. And it's also seen as a wild card. I like that term, a wild card. That means you're going to break the norm. That means you're going to weigh out. You're going to methodically, you're going to analytically, and you're going to spiritually weigh this whole matter out. And that will help you take the next step in this journey. It's not going to be just an emotional, oh, my feelings were hurt, I got to go. Because you gotta confront, why are your feelings hurt? Why did that make you cry? Why does that anger you so much? Why are you still in another relationship that was just like the one prior? Or the last 3? The last 5? Every single one that you've had? Why is it like this? Is it really everybody else? Or am I the common denominator in this equation? Justice is going to help you weigh the matter out. Honestly, openly, and not necessarily in front of a whole group of people, but internally, justice is going to help you get to the bottom of it. If you truly want to get to the bottom of it, justice will help you get there. And maybe you may need to enlist the ear, the advice of a trusted, impartial mediator. Not your best friend, not the person that knows the whole side of the story that you've been telling them, but hear the whole matter. And then give you some honest feedback, whether you like it or not. Because it's about letting go. It's about putting your foot down. You can't put your foot down if you're going to continue to accept the status quo, the mediocrity that you've always accepted. You can't continue to go down the same path, do the same thing, and expect a different result. Justice is going to help you get there. Justice is going to help you weigh out the matter and make it plain and make it palatable, and you eventually have to accept it and move forward with it. Go down that new path. That wild card. And then the east wind is the Ten of Cups. And this represents some possible outcomes. You have options. And with the options that are presented to you, when you choose the best one for your situation, it's going to be party time. Because you will have dealt with all the issues you need to deal with. You will have not only just put your foot down, you will have had a quote unquote come to Jesus moment. Without Jesus being the center of the equation. You get my point. You're going to have that heart to heart, that face to face. You're going to look at yourself in the mirror, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever works for you, whatever helps you to see the clear picture. You're going to have that conversation with you. You're going to get to the root of it. You're going to be able to get on the right path when you see the path that you need to take to no longer accept, no longer go down the same old road, no longer keep the mediocrity in your life, no longer keep all the crap that keeps you stagnant. And once that choice is made, you will have a better outlook, a better outcome. You will have the outcome that you have been deserving all of your life. And that will be cause for celebration. That will be cause for that big sigh of relief. That will be cause for you to understand and recognize you can never go back. You can never go back. You are breathing for the first time in your life, and maybe first time in your adult life. You feel freedom for the very first time, and it feels good. You have tasted freedom for the very first time, and it's delicious. You have slept in your bed with the feeling of freedom, and it's the best night's sleep you have ever had. It's possible. And you didn't just earn it, you deserve it. It is your right to have. It is your destiny to walk in. And you know who makes that happen for you? You. So go on with your bad self, because you are waiting on you to show up. And with that, peace and blessings to you all.